Hey guys, this is for grade 9s and 10s. We're going to do some exponents together because I know a lot of my students in particular struggle quite a bit with exponents. So I want to take some higher order questions and just walk you guys through it step by step. Alright, I think my grade 11s can actually also benefit from this. So let's go have a look quickly at the first question. The first question looks like this. Alright, so the first thing I always teach you guys is we work inside the bracket. So we first have to go and simplify. Now, I want to go and get this as simple as possible. I like to work with products of prime factors with exponents. So I'm going to say 81 equals shift fact. Right, and in my calculator, I'm then going to get 3 to the power of 4. Here I've got a negative exponent. I don't like working with negative exponents. I like them to be positive. So I'm going to bring it over to the bottom. Now, when I have brackets, all I have to do is multiply my exponents. So 4 over 1 times 1 over 4 is just 3. And 12 over 1 times 1 over 4 is just 3 again. Right, so it's as simple as that. So that's the first one. So what we did was we simplified, wrote it as product of prime factors, and then we just multiplied the exponents in because it was outside the bracket. Okay, let's do another one. So this question looks like this. This whole bracket is negative. So what I want to do is I want to bring the whole thing at the top so that my negative exponents can go away. I know some people like to multiply the negative exponent in and then simplify it from there. I prefer to just make the entire term positive. Alright, now I can go and say 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4, and then I can multiply the exponent. So then I get A 14, C 12. Multiply with 4 to the power of 2 is 16, A2, C6. Multiply these two together, and I end up with 64. So I end up with 64, A16, C, that's going to give me 18. Right, so that's that one done and dusted. Right, let's go have a look at another one. So remember with, oh sorry, there was only one. I already did I wrote it twice. So when there's two terms, I have to go and write my brackets out twice. Okay? Then when I multiply, I add my exponents. I just want to change the exponents here. When I multiply, add exponents. So a half plus a half gives me 1. Then I'm going to multiply that with that to get negative 3a to the power of half. I'm going to multiply that with that to get negative 3a to the power of a half, and multiply that with that to get positive 9. I can then go and simplify this by saying negative 3 minus 3 gives me minus 6a to the power of a half plus 9. Right, simple as that. Next one. Okay, once again I want to work with prime numbers, so if I put 25 in my calculator and I say equal shift fact, I'm going to get 5 to the power of 2. So that exponent is going to have to multiply in. This is then 5 times 2 to the power of n. Remember, prime factors. This is 2 to the power of 3, n minus 1, times 5 to the power of 3n, times 2 to the power of negative 2n. Right, now I just have to multiply my exponents in. And then I'm going to multiply that in there. Over this I'm going to multiply in. And then I'm just going to simplify from there. Zivan is early for his class. Come say hello to everyone, Zivan. Who's with you?
Yes. Ek's net alleen hierso.
Say hello vir die maatjies.
Hallo almal. Ek's 'n special guest.
Ja, maar al 4 vroeg is vir sy les. Hello Ziries. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go and add and subtract my exponents together. So let's go find the ones that are the same. So I've got a 5 to the power of 2n over here and a 5 to the power of n over there. If I add those two together, I get 5 to the power of 3n, which means that and that can cancel with that. Then over here I've got 2 to the power of n. This one would come to the top over here to become 2n. I'd add those two together to give me 3, so that and that can cancel with each other. I'm then left with 5 to the power of 2 over 2 to the power of negative 3. That negative 3 has to come to the top. So then I've got 2 to the power of 5 times by 8, and then I can just put that in my calculator. Alright, one more exponent one. Okay, so let me just make sure I copied now. I started with the wrong one. Did I? Okay, no, fine. Alright, so I'm going to go separate these just for myself so that I don't get confused. Is 3 to the power of 2 times by half, so that's going to cancel out, so this just becomes 3n times 3, 1. I'm going to factorize out, because there's a minus at the top, I have to factorize out, so I'm going to factorize out of 3n. I'm going to be left with 3 to the power of 4 minus 6 times 3 over, at the bottom I'm going to factorize out of 3 to the power of n again, and I'm left with 3 to the power of 3 in this one, plus 2 times 3. These two cancel out with each other, and then I just put this in my calculator and get an answer. So I'll put the top part in the calculator and then divide it with the bottom part. Right, and that's exponents. Fingers on.